So again, just to, because we don't have that much time on this, to go over the quick things they said that I didn't have source citations for. First one about the father who lived 20 years longer than predicted. This is from Janine Young of Vermont Alliance for Ethical Healthcare. Vermont Alliance for Ethical Healthcare, Craftsbury Common. And the other one about the guy who messed with the mesothelioma, I'm sure you guys remember, again, it's by Janine Young, who is a medical writer for the Vermont Alliance for Ethical Healthcare. So now that we got that out of the way, let's continue the more important things. I keep on hearing cost. I'm not trying to be a broken recorder here, but again, I'm just looking at that life is more important than money. That it's just, you gotta understand, like you said, you want to help people end their suffering, but we're in the 21st century. There's a lot of medicine, there's a lot of medical things that help with that. I know there's some things that are different, but again, the most part, the medical treatment is supposed to help. And whatever hope you have is, like I said, is important. Now, just to touch upon you guys talking about autonomy. Now, the choice of what you want to do with your body is very important. And according to Ryan Anderson of the Heritage Foundation of Healthcare, even one were to accept an argument for physician-assisted suicide being based on autonomy and compassion, one will be forced to conclude that neither is valued sufficiently protected in laws that have enacted in several states and in current bills that would authorize it in additional injustices. What I'm trying to say is, one of the greatest concerns is that autonomy will be violated and people will be pressured or coerced into killing themselves. This will then have a temptation to view elderly or disabled family members as a burden. Another thing to touch upon is, again, people view these people as a family as a burden because, again, some health care or some certain forms of research is expensive. So how do you think these will make these people feel? A lot of everyday physicians you guys see are qualified for your physical being, but not your mental being. This is what I'm trying to say, is that some of these people that are diagnosed, they become depressed. That is not far-fetched to believe. Like I said, you being told you're gonna die. That's why it leads options of things being abused, the decision making on your behalf being abused. Because again, you will feel that you're a burden to your family rather than you being around for a month, 2 months, maybe even possible years is a good thing. So again, according to Tracy Miller of PBS.org, Before I Die Opinions, the gravest danger is not the physicians or family members will be abusive. Other risks will be subtle and more common. Elderly patients who worry about being a burden, physicians who are not ill-intentioned but hurried or sensitive, patients feel that they have no other options. Again, some doctors, I'm sure, have just laid your diagnosis or prognosis straight up on you, being absolutely no heart to it, just being like, like you gone to the doctors and your doctor has told you something and they say it with no emotion because that's their job, they go through so much. Again, they're not trained to be there for you emotionally. So you might be going through an emotional time and you might be very vulnerable, and in that vulnerability you might want to, again, end your life. And like I said, there's always that possibility. It's not a matter of price, nothing, it's always that possibility. And why eliminate that one possibility of life? Because again, life is important and no price that could be taken upon life. And again, I would want you guys to just join us and go against this entire act, because you're taking away the hope of living, you're taking away the hope of certain people making it through a very tough time in their life. Just that 1% chance means everything. Thank you.